Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Larnaca College calling. My name is Dr. Ісаак Papa and I am an assistant professor of applied linguistics and language teaching at Larnaca College, the School of Education, and I'm currently the academic coordinator of the School of Education for the programs of Bachelor in Primary Education and Pre-Primary Education at the Pedagogical Department. First of all, I would like to thank you for this very kind invitation to be among you today, even virtually. And more specifically, I would like to thank so much our close colleagues, Dr. Natalia Kosarna and Dr. Olga Kotenko, for this very fruitful collaboration we have had all of these years between Greece and Ukraine, and now between Cyprus and Ukraine. And I would like to underline that we are here to support each attempt of yours, and we are here to benefit your students and be benefited by your expertise. Congratulations to Boris Gritsenko Kyiv University for this very hard work and this very kind attempts to promote students and to accommodate their needs. And it's a great pleasure for me to be among you today presenting a paper and presentation regarding foreign language teaching in multicultural and multilingual classrooms. I am going to be discussing ideas for implementation in your schools, in your classrooms. But before that, I think that it would be great for all of us to define translanguaging. The term translanguaging is a part of multilingualism and multiculturalism and was first created in the 1890s by St. Williams as a Welsh educationalist. According to Baker in 2003, translanguaging was then used in order to describe the systematic and planned using of two languages in order to learn or to teach in the same context or the same lesson. Moreover, Williams pointed out about translanguaging as a procedure in which one language and what it contains can be used so as to enhance the other language and having as a main goal the increasing of understanding as well as the abilities of the students in the two languages. And of course, according to a current research of mine, to Dr. Papadopoulos in 2020, translanguaging is a practice in which students make use of their whole linguistic and paralinguistic resources in their attempt to learn to communicate and to interact. Of course, we should not miss that Garcia in 2017 referred to translanguaging as a powerful mechanism in order to develop understanding and to promote inclusion of others, as well as to help and support the understanding in many groups with specific language identity and language characteristics at the same time. But why should we promote translanguaging in our multicultural and multilingual classrooms while trying to develop our students' foreign language skills? Of course, it is promoted to understand much fuller and much deeper the understanding of many subject areas, and of course, it may help the individuals to develop a language that is weaker. It is recommended to be used as so as to facilitate the collaboration of the linkage between school and home. And of course, we should not forget that it may help the integration of individuals who are early learners with those that are fluent speakers of the target language. But let's see some of the percentages and the findings of a research that we conducted last year regarding translanguaging. And first of all, we focused on investigating our students, our young learners, interlingual and intercultural activities in our attempt to see what other culture and other language activities and stimuli they have. First of all, as we can see, they try and they often, very often, as you can see here, need to have information about famous people from abroad. And of course, they travel to other countries, they watch news on the internet, And as you can see here, they try to attend dance festivals, try food from other countries, as well as to visit museums as part of their cultural and linguistic language literacy. To go on, of course, because this study was conducted in the Greek context, we tried to investigate how much Greek, the Greek language, do the students use in the English lessons. And here we can see that they very, very often talk to a classmate in the Greek language while developing the English language. And of course, as you can see here, they want to be more understood, so they try to translanguage and they use Greek instead of English. And of course, they use Greek instead of English when they want time to think about and want to say something to the teacher or to the classmates. Apart from the stimuli, of course, we try to delve into the participation of the students in the lesson as well, and try to see how translanguaging contributed to the development of the target language. So while developing the English language, the students very often asked for clarifications using the Greek language, and of course they also used the Greek language instead of English, performing translanguaging when they wanted help from the teacher, when they wanted to ask something from the teacher, and of course they also used body language to express themselves in an effective way. As for their participation in interlingual and intercultural activities, most of the students supported that they do not understand the meaning of the word, so they spoke in Greek because they did not understand the English language. Of course, they had other options as well and answers. For example, they prepared activities and exercises. For example, when the teacher invited the students to complete some exercises while the students were preparing for the exercise, because all of the students were Greek students, they used the Greek language instead of the English language, performing translanguaging at the same time. And of course, they discussed about their thoughts and ideas in the Greek language before presenting their views and ideas in the English language as well. But let's see now, what can we see about translanguaging and how do they feel about listening to other languages at school? Because the Greek schools are multicultural schools, multilingual schools. The same goes to Cyprus as well, because Cyprus is a super multilingual and multicultural country. So we can see here that when I listen to other languages at school, it makes me not to be afraid to express myself freely, a little, okay? Not to be afraid to express myself freely, of course, at the same time. But here we can see very much they think about what their languages I hear look like or differ from my language. Or I want to collaborate with my classmates from other countries, or I want to spend time with my classmates from other countries because I listen to the language and I want to be more familiar with this target language. So in this presentation, I am going to be presenting some very important principles that are related to what we need to say about this translanguaging model. This translanguaging model says that the students need to explore the space, to observe the cards in English and in Greek, to find objects, to give objects, and so on and so forth. Moreover, the students should act in a familiar context, of course, and here we can see